Hi everyone, I'm Claire and this is my vlog, Loves Red Sews. So welcome back if you are an existing subscriber and welcome if you are new. So today is my Sunday Sews weekly sewing catch up where I have a few little things to share with you. I've got a new make, I've got a couple of things on the go and a couple of fabrics to share with you. So I hope that is okay and you enjoy today's vlog. So today I am recording this on Saturday. It is coming up to 5:30 p.m, so it's a little bit later for me recording today, and that is because I've been to my monthly sewing social today. So this is a social which I attend, run by Becky from What Beck Sews, and it is in Northamptonshire, so it's once a month and it's always towards the end of each month. So it's been a really lovely day today. One of our regular members, Wendy, is her birthday, so it was her it's actually her birthday on Monday, I believe. So she is turning 80 on Monday, so I hope she doesn't mind me mentioning that, and if she is okay with it, I will pop a little photo in here. But we, unbeknown to her, we arranged a little sort of whip round of some money, and all of us kind of contributed, and then we bought her a little present and basically gave her money. She's got a show, I think a quilt show coming up that she is going to, and we thought maybe she could kind of spend the money how she wishes. So she was completely surprised and completely overwhelmed, and I think a couple of the ladies bought her a little tiara and she had a little sash on, so she was really made to feel quite special. And then a couple of the ladies made cakes, and also I think there were a couple of cakes bought as well, so we had plenty of cake today. I am gluten free and lactose free, and I can't often eat cake, and one of the lovely ladies, Grace, who came, she specifically made a gluten and lactose free cake for a few of us with that kind of allergies to enjoy also, which was absolutely wonderful. And it was a really nice cake as well, so I was a little bit naughty and had a couple of slices, but it was really lovely. So yeah, we just had a really nice day today. There was quite a few of us there, and yeah, I just think it was just such a lovely day, seeing everybody and just seeing how loved Wendy is. So happy birthday, Wendy, if you're watching. I hope you have a wonderful day on Monday, and yeah, it was really lovely to spend today with you, or sharing today with you for your special birthday weekend. So I will share in a couple of minutes what I was working on, but first of all I wanted to talk about what I have made up this week. So this was actually a little bit of a spur of the moment thing, although I have been thinking about doing it for quite a while, but these sort of things take me a little bit of time to kind of gather all of the sort of materials that I want, and you know, all the bits and pieces. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I find it a little bit hard when it's not, well, you'll probably realise the context of this in a minute, because it isn't a garment, it's actually an item. So it's not something that I sew very often, and I've done a little bit of quilting this week, which is something I've not really done before, so that's been a new process for me. And the item that I decided to make was this. Now this is just a printed out copy, so it may look a little bit faded, but this is the Sofa Tidy by Adam Sews, and I've been wanting to make this for quite a while because I do quite a bit of cross stitch and a couple of other little crafts. I recently bought a couple of little craft kits from the Stitch Festival, and I thought something like this would be really handy to have next to me when I'm sitting on the sofa crafting, and just having this sort of next to me to put some of my bits and pieces in that I might need, things like scissors and pins and, you know, various other sort of tools and stuff like that. But I do, with these kind of projects, I mean, I've not really made a lot of these, or if any, so I find it quite hard kind of trying to pair fabrics together and trying to think of combinations of sort of patterns and fabrics and stuff. And I do really want to make Adam's caddy, but I haven't quite found the right fabric yet, and I think for the caddy I think that's going to take me a little bit longer, because I kind of want to get the colours right and the patterns, and I've been thinking about it for ages and I haven't quite found the right fabrics for it yet. So I thought, well, I'll start off with the sofa tidy, see how I go with that. What I decided to do with this was actually use fabric from my stash. So everything that I used to make this was from my stash. I didn't buy anything new, which in itself is really good. So it just says about the sofa tidy, it says that it is a perfect companion to any hand stitcher, cross stitcher, EPP or hand quilter. It features a removable pin cushion, a storage box, needle minder strap and 2 main pockets divided to hold all of your tools. So yeah, it's really it's a really good pattern. So I kind of spent a little bit of time pulling together the bits and pieces that I wanted for it, and I'd kind of put them all together in a project bag, and then last weekend I just decided to cut it out. So it was quite random. I hadn't really planned it, but I just decided, actually this is what I fancy making up this week. So I went ahead. See, this is the list of all the items that you need. So I kind of made sure most of it, actually all of it, I had already in stock. So I had like some bag foam left over from another project. I had some fusible fleece, which I had previously bought for another project, which I didn't end up using. Yeah, and I had literally had everything else in my stash. So would you like to see the finished article? So I'm actually really proud of this. So this is the sofa tidy that I made. So this is kind of the predominant side that I think I will probably use, but the other side is equally similar, I would say. So it kind of sits over the arm of a sofa. I'm not holding it very well, which is why this is kind of looking a bit wobbly, but I will put a couple of pictures in up here of it on my sofa so that you can see. But the good thing is you've got this pin cushion here, which comes on and off, so you don't have to keep that on there. And I actually use my green machine to put the poppers on that. So I've got these, so this is the underside of it. So I used the same fabric on both sides as the main fabric, and then I sort of picked out some coordinating fabrics. So yeah, I used my green machine to add on the poppers. So you've got one here for the pin cushion, and this is the other side. And then you also, make sure I don't prick myself, I've got a couple of little pins, needles sitting in there. And then you also have this little basket, and this also comes off if you don't want to use that. So you can kind of sit it with that on it or not. So yeah, all of this fabric I had in my stash. So I think the main sort of fabric, I bought this as a remnant. I think it might have been from Emporia Patterns when they were selling off a lot of their fabric. You can see I'll try and bring it in a little bit closer, so you can see I've kind of quilted it with like a kind of a zigzaggy sort of stitch. So that was quite a new process to do that. I originally, the first thing I did was the pin cushion, and I just kind of quilted that with straight lines. And actually I thought afterwards that it might look quite nice with the rest of it, with the kind of slightly, it's not like a proper zigzag, it's more of a rounded kind of stitch. And then I've got these pockets were from Fat Quarters that I had in previous So Hayley Jane boxes. So I think this one and this one came in the same box. I think I've actually previously made face masks out of them. So that's how long I've had them in my stash. This is a label from Little Rosy Cheeks. You bind the top of the pockets, and this binding, bias binding, is from the Specky Seamstress, and I think the yellow in that picked out the yellow in the main fabric quite nicely. I think I picked this colour to kind of pick out the turquoisey colour, and then I thought this kind of went with all of it. Then I had this ribbon in my stash already, and I think I previously bought this from Hey So Sister, but I thought the colours of this also went quite well. I have got a pin, like a little magnetic sort of pin. I can't remember what you call them now, my mind's gone blank. Of course it's a panda, so I've kind of put that on the ribbon. You can also use this ribbon to like hook things onto, or you know, put these like, oh, needle minders, that's it, it's a magnetic needle minder. So I've just popped that one on there, and then as I mentioned, it's got a pin cushion on it, the basket, which you can put whatever you want in it, sort of bits and pieces or scraps, and then the back is kind of the same, but it's just slightly different fabrics. A different label here, which is from Hey So Sister, and the same ribbon on the other side, just in case I want to turn it around, I guess. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how that has turned out, and it will definitely come in handy sat on the side of my sofa. The box is, I'm not sure if the foam I used is quite, I mean it's quite sturdy. I'm not sure if I should have used a slightly less sturdy foam or not, but I think it sits okay. It's not quite pulling in as it should, but it's my first time making something like that, so I think hopefully I can be forgiven for that. You can see my quilting a little bit easier on the bright yellow inside, and this was also a fat quarter, and I just kind of thought those colours all matched quite well together. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that, and it's definitely going to get a lot of use. So that is the first thing that I have made this week. So yeah, I mean, if you've not made anything like that before, Adam has like the instructions are really good on this, and Adam also has a sew along which you can follow, and there was a couple of points in it which I wasn't sure about, so I did follow his sew along on a couple of the bits, which really helped me because I could actually see what he was referring to. The instructions are just kind of written, so there isn't a huge amount of well, there's not really any photos, so when I didn't understand an instruction, the sew along came in really handy for that. And there is a link at the back with a QR code which you can then link to the sew along. So yeah, I would highly recommend that pattern, and you know, just take your time with it if it's something that you've not done before. I haven't done anything like that before, so I just took my time with it, and I did it sort of over the course of the week, and it just came together really nicely, and then I finished it last night. So yeah, it's all done and ready to be used, which is really good. So excuse me, I'm feeling a little bit warm actually. It feels quite muggy at the moment. It's quite overcast outside, and it's obviously a bit later in the afternoon, sort of coming into the evening now, but it actually feels quite warm in here. I should probably also share what I'm wearing. So I mentioned this in last week's vlog that I had finished this shirt, or this blouse I should say, and I will just stand up and show you the blouse on. But this is the Closet Core NYX blouse which I made for Sew April Blouse, and it's all finished, and I wore this today to my sewing social, so it's really nice and loose and floaty. I did size down 2 sizes for this blouse, and as I have previously mentioned, I took some length out of the garment as well. So I took 1 inch out above the bust, and I took 1 inch out below the bust, and also 1 inch off of the sleeves. So that is what I'm wearing today. So it's been quite nice and loose and floaty to wear that today. But yeah, I'm feeling quite warm at the moment. So what have I been up to today? So at my sewing social, I decided to take this pattern with me. Now, I mentioned in last week's vlog that I was planning to make these, and I shared the brown denim, the chocolate brown denim that I had bought to make these. So just to give you a little bit of information about the Rowan trousers, they're a barrel leg trouser pattern with a loose and comfy fit for a cool and casual feel. They have a medium rise waist, deep cutaway front pockets, and a classic V back yoke and angled 5-sided pockets at the rear, top stitching detail on the seams, and a fly zip add a jean style detail, and it's classed as an intermediate pattern. So there is the line drawings. So they are slightly barrel legged. Now I have decided to go ahead and cut a size 12 in this pattern, but I'm not entirely sure if that size is going to be right. I chose that size basically because I saw on other people that they the size that other people had shared, and I kind of looked at their measurements against mine, and it was kind of the reason why I chose the 12. So it does say that the finished measurement for the waist is 35.5 inches, but my waist is around 35, so I'm a little bit nervous that it might not be quite big enough. I'm not sure. I did hold, so I've kind of constructed the leg pieces and I've held them up to me, and it does seem like it will fit, but these trousers do have a little bit of elastic in the back of them. So the front is kind of flat, like it shows here in the picture, and then the back has just a little bit of elastic inserted at the back, and I think this just kind of brings it in slightly, just to kind of give you that more fitted silhouette at the waist. It's got this really nice kind of V yoke at the back, and the waistband looks relatively straight, so I'm hoping that that will actually they will actually come out really nicely, because I really like a straight waistband. That seems to suit my figure a little bit better than a kind of a curved one, and I like the fact that it has this V kind of yoke at the back. I think that looks really nice. So would you like to see how far I've got with them so far? So these are partially constructed, so it's quite unusual in this pattern in that you construct all the pieces and legs and everything, put everything together, and then you insert the fly zip. But I think what I'm going to do, so I've got to the point where I've basically I've done the so this is the yoke, this is the back yoke. It looks like quite see-through here. It's because I've got light behind me, but it's not that, when you put it kind of up against you, it's not that see-through. But I don't know if you can tell there, this is the back yoke, so it's a V shaped there. I've put the back pockets on, and I've added a little label, and this is the front part of the leg. So you kind of top stitch down that front seam. This is the shaped pocket. So the pieces are constructed, so you've got the front piece of the leg and the back piece of the leg together there, and then you kind of put them, I think, what you do with that is you then sew those pieces together down the inner seam, and then you'll put one leg inside the other and construct them kind of around that piece. So I'm not showing it very well, around the rise. So that's the bit that you kind of sew the two legs together. But I've got these kind of constructed as far as the back and the front pieces are together. I didn't have the right colour zip in my stash. So I got to a certain point and then I couldn't really continue anymore. However, it was getting towards the end of the day anyway, so I've just stopped off at Hobbycraft on my way home and I've picked up a zip. So I think what I might do is actually, before I put all of the legs together, I think I might actually do the zip as the next part, get that done while the leg pieces are flat, so that I can get access to the zip part a bit easier. Do that bit first and then put the rest of the trousers together. So yeah, I'm hoping that I'm not sure how much of that I will get done this evening, but I'm hoping to jump back onto that tomorrow and get some of that done and get them kind of constructed and put together. So that would be really nice to get to that point and see how I get on with that tomorrow. So yeah, I've got quite a lot of it done, to be honest. I did make a little bit of a mistake, which I realised only after I'd done it. When I attached the back yoke to the back leg, I ended up putting one of them round the wrong way, so it looked like I had two left legs, which wasn't the case. I had cut them out. Sort of as a pair, but I just put one of the yokes on the wrong way round, and at that point, unfortunately, I had already overlooked it, so I had to unpick it all today. And I did that at the sewing social, so that was probably me not paying attention and kind of chatting and stuff, but I had to unpick all of that. Thankfully it didn't take me too long to do that, so I'd got the yoke put on the right way round and then I could carry on with what I was doing. So yeah, that was really good. Got quite a bit of that done, and I will carry on with that sort of probably tomorrow. And then the other thing I cut out this week is this, which is the high cuff sweater. So I bought this when I was at the Stitch Festival, I think. So if you're not familiar with this pattern, this is by the Assembly line, and this is actually the envelope for it. So it's quite a big envelope, and the high cuff sweater, I'll just give you a little bit of information about that. So the high cuff sweater is inspired by a traditional sweatshirt, and it features rib cuffs at the neck, sleeves and bottom. And then the shaped bottom cuff is higher at the back, which gives it a feminine silhouette. And the sweater works well in both woven fabric and knit fabric. So if you can see here in the line drawing, this is the front of the sweater. So it looks like a standard kind of sweater, but you can cut this out in woven fabric or sweater fabric, so whichever is your preference. But this is the back of it. So it's got a really nice, unusual kind of high shape here at the back. And from what I understand, that kind of hugs the base of your back and just sits really nicely there, and then the fabric, depending on what you use, kind of billows over it slightly. So yeah, I've seen a lot of nice versions of that, and I've been wanting the pattern and to make it up for quite a while, so I decided to get that a little while ago, and I've decided to cut it out in a woven fabric. I wanted to test the size of the pattern first, and I will probably make some more if it turns out okay, but just for reference I have gone with the size medium. So I've just gone by my chest, and it gives you the measurements in centimetres only. I don't really know what that equates to in inches, but the medium is 113 centimetres. The small, I should probably start at the beginning, shouldn't I? So it just comes in extra small, small and large, and the extra small is 95 centimetre chest, small is 104 centimetres, medium is 113 and large is 122. So it's not massively size inclusive, I wouldn't say, but maybe it comes in, I'm wondering if it comes in other sizes, because on the back there are some extra sizes here that it talks about, but this particular version that I've got only goes up to a large, so I don't know, maybe it does come in other size ranges. But yeah, so I've gone with this fabric here, which is a viscose fabric in a lovely kind of emerald green animal print, with this black and kind of peachy colour, and all of these colours are in my colour chart, so that's a bonus. This was from my stash and it was a remnant piece that I had. I think it was less than 1 metre, and I've managed to get this pattern out of that. So all of my pattern pieces are here. It doesn't take too much, so I've got the front, the back and the sleeve cut out here, and then the other pieces, the neckband, the cuff and the bit at the bottom, are all cut in rib. Now the piece for the ribbon is actually kind of like one long piece, which this is one half of it, and then this is the other half of it. So it's actually all one long piece, but it said on the instructions that if your ribbon is not wide enough, which mine wasn't because I had the tubular ribbon, it actually tells you to cut the pattern piece in half and then add a 1 centimetre seam allowance to each side of it, and then I think you will join those together. So that's what I did. So that's the other half of it, which has the same. So there's 1 centimetre added to both of those pieces, which I assume you then join together. So I haven't actually got as far as doing any joining up of anything yet. All I've done is cut the garment out. So yeah, I'm hoping that will come together quite quickly. I imagine it will, because I don't think it's going to be a difficult pattern to make. So that'll be interesting to see how that looks, and I'm hoping that the size, I've chosen the medium, so I'm hoping that size works out well. So they're the 2 projects that I've currently got on the go, and then I have had a couple of fabrics into my sewing room this week, and these are, well, one of them actually arrived today unexpectedly, and I ordered this one a couple of weeks ago because I have previously shared this fabric I bought from Sew Me Sunshine, and it was a tiger print in kind of like colours with red, pink, green kind of fabric colours in, and then I found that somebody else online were doing it in a different colourway, and it's this fabric. So it is got these lovely tigers all over it, and I just love this colourway, and the fabric is just so soft. You wouldn't believe how soft this is. I think this fabric is actually called a viscose satin, but it's not shiny in any sense at all. So I do actually have both colourways of this fabric now. But what happened with this fabric is I ordered it, and it's from Grid Fabrics. I will link them down below. They are based in Scotland. They're really good. They're a really good company. I've used them before, and they always post out really quickly, and for some reason, I'm not sure what happened, but my order hadn't arrived, so I contacted them to find out if it had been posted, and they said to me, unfortunately, they'd had some delays and they didn't actually post it out until the 14th, so I think that was quite a little way after I had ordered it. And it should have been there by now. So I said, you know, that's fine. Sometimes these things happen. I don't know what's happened behind the scenes, but maybe they've been short-staffed or something. So I wasn't in an urgent rush or anything for it. But it got to the end of this week and it still hadn't arrived. And that is kind of like 10 days ago they said they posted it. Oh no, actually 12 days ago, so it's almost 2 weeks ago that they posted it, and it still hadn't arrived. So I contacted them again yesterday to let them know it hadn't arrived, and then today I had an email from them to say that they were really sorry, they're not sure what happened, but they were going to be posting me out a replacement, which was, you know, it's fine, can't fault the customer service or anything at all. But today I got home from my sewing social and the package had mysteriously arrived. So goodness knows what has happened to it since the 14th. It's been probably sitting in a sorting office somewhere. So yeah, I have contacted them to let them know, and obviously I'm not sure if they've already posted the replacement out, but I have offered to pay for it if that is the case, because obviously I don't really want them to be out of pocket. So I might end up with 2 pieces of that, so we shall see. And then I couldn't resist some fabric from Fabric Godmother. Now, I'd seen this being shared previously, and it was at the Stitch Festival, and I don't know what happened, but I never spotted it when I was at the Stitch Festival. Anyway, Fabric Godmother, I've had a discount code this month for So April Blouse, so I purchased this fabric, which is absolutely stunning. So this is the I think, what is it called? Loon. I'll link it below. I can't remember the name of it, but they've had this print. I had it on the Sherpa fleece that came in one of my dream wardrobe boxes, but they've released it on this crepe, viscose crepe, and I just love pink and red together. And as soon as I saw this, I couldn't resist it, and I was like, how did I not see this at the Stitch Festival? I think I must have just been overwhelmed by all of the colours and the choices at the stand, and I didn't actually buy anything from them at the Stitch Festival. So when they released this, I jumped straight on. I bought 3 meters of this because I can see this being made into a dress of some kind. And then the other fabric I bought from them is this one, which again is absolutely stunning. And it is, I'm just trying to get it up the right way for you. It is this fabric. So this is also a viscose crepe, and you can probably see the texture, but it's got all of these different designs in it. And it's just got so many lovely things on it. It's obviously got quite a lot of floral. It's got this lovely fan. There's a sun and a moon and some stars, cherries. It's got lots of different things in it. And yeah, I just think the colours of that are beautiful. Now, I did only buy 2 meters of this. I wasn't sure about this as a dress. I've seen somebody make this up as a peony dress. The peony is probably a little bit too formal for me, and yeah, I wasn't sure what sort of dress I would make in this, so I ended up buying 2 meters, and I thought a blouse would look lovely in this. And I'm actually very tempted to make the Samara blouse in this, which is the new one from Tilly and the Buttons. I wasn't completely enamoured with that pattern when I first saw it, but it has grown on me and that's basically because I've seen such lovely versions that other people have made. So I'm quite tempted to make that with this, but I might test the fit of it first before I cut into this gorgeous fabric. So yeah, they are the purchases that I've had into my sewing room this week. So I shall link all of those below, and the shops, and also the patterns that I've talked about today. So I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about today. Oh yes, one thing I did want to do, which I've not done yet. So recently I got to 2,000 subscribers, which I just couldn't believe that I'd got to that point, to be honest. And I was just completely overwhelmed that so many of you you know, follow along with my journey, and I wanted to do a little something just to say thank you to all of those people who watch and subscribe to my channel. So I've been having a little think about what to do, just as a way of saying thank you, and I thought what might be quite nice is to offer a voucher to a shop of your choice. So it can then be open to, you know, people wherever you're located, rather than a voucher for a specific shop. I thought I would offer a £30 voucher for a shop of your choice. I thought what I would do is just ask a very simple question, and then what I would like you to do is to pop in the comments below the answer, your answer, what you think the answer to the question is. And then what I always do is all of those people who have got it right, I will add you all to a list. I will do a random draw in my next week's vlog, and then I will get in touch with the winner to let them know that they have won, and we'll do it that way. I think that hopefully will work. So I was trying to think of what kind of question to ask, and I thought, you know what, I will keep it relatively easy. I think if you've been watching my vlogs for a little while, you possibly will know the answer to this. And so the question I kind of thought of is related around my little doggy, because he does often pop up in my videos and you've seen him a few times. So I thought the question I will ask is if you can comment below what my dog's name is. So I thought I would keep it nice and simple. So if you know the answer to that, pop it in the comments below, and then next week I will do a random generator draw, and the winner of that will then get a £30 voucher to a shop of their choice. And that is just my way of saying thank you for watching, for commenting, for giving me likes, and you know, just generally being here along with me on my sewing journeys. Hope you've enjoyed watching today's vlog, and we will sign off here, and I shall catch up with you again next week. So good luck in the comments below, and yep, if you haven't already subscribed, then I would love it if you would subscribe. I shall leave that there because I think I'm just waffling now, and I shall catch up with you again next week. Thanks for watching, have a good week, and hope you get some good sewing in. Thanks very much, bye.